Election season has arrived, and voters have plenty of decisions to make. But will they make informed decisions? Let's take a look. Nowadays, it's common for voting to be treated like an outlet for self-expression. Hence, Michelle Obama says that being a citizen with opinions about issues in your community and caring about your kids is what it takes to be a voter. The founders didn't think passion was enough to maintain a free nation, however. Father of the Constitution and primary author of the Bill of Rights, James Madison, said that a people who mean to be their own governors must arm themselves with the power which knowledge gives. Otherwise, the resulting government could be a farce or a tragedy, or perhaps both. Nobody wants that, and naturally, people on each end of the political spectrum tend to blame the other side for being ignorant and partisan. But to gauge actual voter knowledge, Just Facts commissions a professional polling firm to conduct a scientific nationwide annual survey of people who vote every time there is an opportunity or in most elections. In other words, engaged, caring citizens who regularly exercise their constitutional right to choose the people who represent them in government. Rather than measuring public opinion, this unique poll measures voters' knowledge of issues that affect their lives in tangible ways. The results indicate that voters of all ages, political parties, and genders are not only uninformed about major public issues, they are positively misinformed. For instance, do you think the federal government spends more on social programs or on national defense? 84% of Democrats and 35% of Republicans thought national defense commanded the larger bill. But that's far from true. 63% of all federal spending goes to social programs, and only 18% goes to national defense. Back in 1960, the converse was true. 53% of all federal spending went to national defense, and 21% went to social programs. Here's a question about a very disturbing controversial issue. What portion of adult females living in the U.S. say they have been the victim of an act that fits the legal definition of rape? Like 56% of voters responded, more than 5% is the correct answer. In fact, a nationally representative scientific survey conducted by U.S. Centers for Disease Control found that 11.5% of adult females say they have been victim of acts that constitute forcible rape. These findings are consistent with other rigorous scientific studies. On this particular issue, Republicans are more likely to be misinformed. 59% gave the wrong answer. What about child hunger? On an average day, what portion of U.S. households with children have at least one child who experiences hunger? In this case, the ignorance is fairly bipartisan. 95% of Democrats and 74% of Republicans gave the wrong answer. Per the latest data from the USDA, on an average day, less than 1/5 of 1% of households with children have a child who experiences hunger. Those who claim that child hunger is more common often falsely equate the term food insecure with hunger. But most food insecure households never experience actual hunger. How about a matter of climate change? Would you say the Earth has become measurably warmer since the 1980s? 95% of Democrats and 38% of Republicans are aware that, yes, the Earth has become measurably warmer in the past few decades. According to both satellite-measured data and ground-level thermometers, the Earth's average temperature has increased by about 0.6 to 0.9 degrees Fahrenheit since the 1980s. This increase is greater than measurement uncertainty. To get a sense of scale for this change of less than 1 degree, a temperature analysis of a glacier in Greenland found that it was about 22 degrees colder during the last ice age than it is now. Here's a budget topic that might surprise you. On average, across the United States, how much do you think public schools spend to educate each classroom of students per year? Less than $150,000 per year, or more than $150,000 per year? 57% of voters polled assumed the lower number, but in reality, the annual average cost to educate a classroom of public school students is about $315,000 per year. On this particular issue, Democrats are more likely to be misinformed, with merely 20% of them giving the correct answer. You may have noticed that sometimes Democrat and Republican voters are both misinformed, but they tend to be misinformed about different issues. And there's a lot more to learn from this insightful survey. I'm Amanda Reed Sheik, here with Just Facts. For all of the 24 questions and results of the survey, and thorough documentation of every fact in this video, read the article Scientific Survey Finds Voters of All Parties, Ages, and Genders Are Broadly Misinformed at justfacts.com.